Hi. Have you ever wanted to start your own project, but you told yourself that I have no money? Asking yourself how you can bring your ideas into reality without breaking the bank? If this sounds familiar, don't worry. There is a solution called crowdfunding. And this video, I will walk you through a quick tour exploring everything you need to know about crowdfunding and how this powerful fundraising method can help to turn your dreams into reality. Get ready to discover how fundraising and starting your own project just got easier. Hi. So, what is crowdfunding? Crowdfunding is the practice of funding a project or venture by raising money from a large number of people via the internet. In other words, it's a large group of people combining their economic power to support the company or project they believe in. So the main difference between the conventional funding and the crowdfunding is that in traditional funding, we get a large amount of money from one person. Conversely, in crowdfunding, we get a small amount of money from a large number of people. So the question that can come up in your mind is, why should I use crowdfunding platforms? And the answer is that with the small effort exerted by you, demonstrating your ideas in a professional way, you can raise capital quickly and efficiently. In addition to the opportunity to build a community of advisors who can help you to become more nimble and innovative. But let's take a step back and know how this concept emerged. The story started in 1997 when a British rock band known as Marillion funded their reunion tour through online donation from fans, and this followed by launching Artist Share platform as the first dedicated crowdfunding platform in 2000. In 2009, the crowdfunding industry has become a popular option for entrepreneurs to validate their ideas and gain funding. Its revenue tripled from $530 million in 2009 to $1.5 billion in 2011. And then, in 2011, crowdfunding gains Washington support when President Barack Obama enacted regulation that facilitates for entrepreneurs to use equity crowdfunding. And by 2025, the World Bank predicts that crowdfunding worldwide will have the ability to deploy up to $96 billion yearly. Speaking of Egypt, crowdfunding gained traction in the early 2010. During this period, there was an increasing interest in entrepreneurship and innovation among young Egyptians, and this has provided fertile ground for crowdfunding to take root. And the first significant platform in Egypt was Zomel, which was established in 2013, and it played a pioneering role in introducing crowdfunding to the country, allowing individuals to pitch their creative business projects to a global audience for financial support. Since then, several crowdfunding platforms have been established adopting several crowdfunding models, and according to Statistics website, Pattern stands out as a leader among the crowdfunding platforms with 86% of the total market share. But before mentioning these platforms, let's first understand what are the models of crowdfunding. First, for your knowledge, there are three main parts in crowdfunding platforms: the project initiator, the person who presents the startup idea, and the investors who can financially support the project, and the platform that brings two parts together. And in this platform, project initiator can choose among four main crowdfunding models, which are rewards-based crowdfunding, equity, debt, and donation. Let's start the first model, which is rewards-based crowdfunding. And in this model, investors contribute funds to startup in exchange of getting rewards like a service or a product. And examples of this model are Kickstarter and Indiegogo. But the main problem in this model is that the project owner have to meet the financial goals within a specified time frame. If that doesn't happen, the project owner will not receive any of these pledged funds, and this put the project initiator or owner in a great pressure or risk. The second model is equity-based crowdfunding. And in this model, investors contribute funds to startup, but in exchange of receiving shares of the startup return. So in this model, investors are purchasing a stake in the future success of the company. In this kind of model, there is a long-term relationship, unlike the reward-based model, in which the relationship between investors and project owner ends once the reward is delivered. And the most popular platforms in this model, which is the equity-based crowdfunding, are Seed Invest and Circle Up. The third model is debt-based crowdfunding, which also known as peer-to-peer lending. Debt-based crowdfunding is similar to traditional loan. Instead of getting a loan from the bank, you get a loan from a crowd of investors. Lending Club and Prosper are well-known platforms for debt-based crowdfunding. The last model is donation-based crowdfunding. And in this model, investors donate money to the project that has a good morale and ethical value that they already believe in. And most of companies that adopt this model are non-profit projects. And GoFundMe is a well-known platform for such model. So, how to choose the best model for you? Actually, when you search for this part, you will find endless pages and papers that will give you different perspectives on how you should choose the best model. Among them, there are two main perspectives from my own opinion would help you in defining the most suited model for your project. And first perspective is the nature of your project. If your business is launching a new business, then the reward-based model might be the best fit. But if you have a strong social community-oriented mission, donation-based model could be a good choice for you. However, in case of you seek for expansion and don't have a problem giving up some equity, then go for equity-based model. But if you don't need someone to share with you your profit, ensure that you are able to repay the loan, then debt-based model might be the best path. The second perspective is the life cycle stage of your project, which proposed by a researcher in 2017. As you know, there are 4 main stages for any project: pre-startup, startup, growth, and decline. If your project in the startup or pre-startup phase, donation will be the best model. It will enable you to create your initial capital to start setting up your project. However, if you are in the startup stage, where you focus on refining a solution or a prototype into a project, then lending crowdfunding is best suited for you, because you don't have a service or product yet to provide, as should be in the reward model, or having a profit to share, as should to be in the equity model. Finally, if you are in the growth stage and have started to become an efficient and profitable entity, then equity crowdfunding will give you an advantage for more expansion and development. So, after demonstrating everything you can need to know about crowdfunding, it's important to tell you some challenges that you have to put it in your mind. And one of the critical challenges every entrepreneur faces is how to build the trust among investors, because not all investors are knowledgeable about how equity crowdfunding works. And to overcome this challenge, you should share with them every single information that you have that's relevant to their decision to invest, from the problem that you are trying to solve to how the product works and its benefits. You should be able to also tell a captivating story about your work and demonstrating why they should invest in your startup above the rest, and try to create hype around your project. But be careful from creating too much expectation so that you lose them later. Try to be clear and transparent as much as you can about your company. The next and last challenge is choosing the right platform. Since there are quite a number of platforms available out there, it's not always easy to spot the one that will give your business some exposure. So look at all these platforms from different perspective in terms of regulatory framework, payment processing, technology adapted, identity verification methods used, and compare them until select the most secure and safe platform for you. So that's all about this video. I hope that you have become more knowledgeable about what is crowdfunding, its models, and the most popular platforms. I hope that this puts you on the right track if you want to start your own project and are thinking about funding. Thank you so much for your watching. Bye bye.